Greetings and welcome everyone to the Lott Carey Wise Digital Couch. My name is Doriel and it's Larrier from Brooklyn, New York. Salem Missionary Baptist Church is my home church, and I'm so excited to be with you all this evening. Welcome to episode 66. Welcome to episode 66. It is August of 2026. Why is that day important? Why is that month important? Because in 2 or 3 days, a number of us will be gathering for our convention. Where are we going? We'll be in Atlanta. Will I see you? I pray so. If you haven't gotten your registration yet done, I don't know what you're waiting for. Let's get on down to the ATL, whether you're walking across the street, across town, getting on the bus, train, driving the car, whatever you're going to do, I look forward to seeing all of you in the ATL. So, on behalf of our leadership, which is the Executive Secretary Treasurer, Reverend Emmett L. Dunn, our President, Dr. Jesse L. Williams, our first Vice President, Dr. James Victor, our second Vice President, Dr. Robert Scott, our President of the Lott Carey Wise, which is Women in Service Everywhere, Dr. Brenda McBurrow, our first Vice President, Sister Lynette Richardson, second Vice President, Minister Brenda Troy, and our Youth Department Leader, Minister Steve Edmonds, and our Men on Missions Team Leader, Deacon Charles Monterio. Welcome to the Digital Couch. Tonight's episode is a little bit of a review and a little teaser because a number of our Women in Service Everywhere have taken an amazing missions trip and just returned a few days ago. So we thought we'd dial back a couple of days, take a look at some of the work that they've done, hear about some of their experiences, because everybody is somebody in Lott Carey, but the everybody gets to do something. Whether you stay at home and you are praying, you are supporting from your home church or your home couch, you're raising funds through your church mission projects, you are getting together in your local communities in order to spread the word and awareness of the global impact that Lott Carey has on communities, or you're actually traveling to those places and spaces. Sometimes people think, what do folks actually do when they get there? So we thought that we'd allow you to see and hear from some testimonials of people who have gone. So why don't we start with bringing in our president, Reverend Dr. Brendan McBurrow. Oh, sorry.
Good evening. Good evening, Sister Doriel, and good evening, Lott Carey family. It is great to be on the couch for this episode, and we truly look forward to just sharing a little bit about our journey. I am Reverend Dr. Brenda McBurrow, President of Lott Carey Wise, and when I'm not serving at Lott Carey Wise, I am in Centerville, Virginia, where I serve at the Mount Olive Baptist Church as the minister of, oh Lord, what's it called? Community missions and community engagement. It keeps changing. So I serve there, engaging with the community as well as the work of our of missions at our church and in our community.
Excellent, excellent. And we have so we do have some people who are in the chat room, and so we definitely want you to roll through the comments. Let us know the city, state, your pastor that you are representing, that you are a delegate for, at least in the digital space. And so we want to thank everyone for coming on, and I will acknowledge people as they come through and the city and state that they are coming from. Now, I do hope and pray that when you are rolling through the comments tonight, you are letting us know that you will be at convention. We want to see you in the house. If you're not in the house, we do hope that you'll at least participate in the virtual sessions, in those sessions that are going to be live streamed. And if you are, please again type in the comments if you can, if depending on where they're streamed to, and let us know again the city and state that you are watching from, so that we know that we have a live audience and then we have a digital convention audience as well. So let's bring in our other two guests, and we'll bring in Dr. Eva Oakley. Greetings, Dr. Oakley.
Greetings. I'm so glad to be here with the Lott Carey sisters.
Excellent. And then I'm going to bring in Minister Dana Buford. Greetings.
Hello,
Hello,
everyone.
Excellent,
It's a
excellent.
pleasure to join everyone this evening.
Excellent. So before we go any further, we definitely want to know what city and state you are from because we have to give a shout out. I really hope that you invited like some of your church members to come and like give you a shout out. You know, they missed you for a couple of days. They should at least know what you were doing when you were not at church, right? So, Minister Dana Buford, please let us know city, state, and church that you're from, and then Dr. Eva Oakley as well.
I
I
am
am
from the
from
Boogie
the
Down
Boogie Down
Bronx,
Bronx,
Bronx, New
Bronx, New
York.
York.
New York in the house. I'm sorry. So, excuse me. For those who don't know, Nixon 5. Nixon 5. Nixon
Nixon
5.
Nixon
5,
five,
Nixon
Nixon
5.
five.
What you
Thank you.
saying?
Okay,
Look at
let's get
that.
serious. Let's get serious. Okay, go ahead.
I'm from the Bronx, New
Bronx, New
York.
York.
An
An
associate
associate
minister
minister
at
at
Trinity
Trinity
Baptist
Baptist
Church.
Church.
My
My
pastor
pastor
is
is
Reverend Dr.
Reverend Dr.
Naomi
Naomi
Tyler
Tyler
Lord.
Lord.
Excellent. Okay, Boogie Down Bronx. Only New Yorkers understand that. That's fine. That's okay. Y'all don't know. It's okay. All right, Dr. Eva Oakley. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
Say I'm
say I'm
Eva
Eva
Oakley.
Oakley.
I'm
I'm
from
from
Raleigh,
Raleigh.
I
I
know.
know.
Tar
Tar
Heel
Heel
State,
State,
but I
but I
always
always
claim to
claim
be an Eagle. And I go to Watts Chapel Missionary Baptist Church, where our pastor is none other the Reverend Dr. Harry L. White Jr. Greetings to everyone.
Excellent. So I really hope and pray, as I said, that you have some of your church members who are here in the chat. If not, you got to let them know to watch the replay and then to shout you all out when this is done. Because we need, if you're going to be on the couch, you got to have your hype people from your pew partners, okay? That is going to be a requirement moving forward. If you're going to sit on the couch, you need your pew partners in the chat. That's just my go-to for the next year. Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you. So tonight we have the blessed opportunity to hear from Dr. McBurrow about the recent pilgrimage to the other side. And we definitely want to wait a minute. I have to just pull this up. Hold on. Thank you, Dr. Angelita Clifton. We appreciate you. Okay. We definitely want to hear about the trip. I will say from the outset, as I said in the intro, that of course Lott Carey is known to come alongside, you know, indigenous communities and support them, whether that be through raising funds or raising prayer and praise and or you know bringing material physical materials. Physical and then digital materials because there's lots of variety of materials and also like literally hands and feet on the ground to provide presence and support and sometimes to build, construct, reconstruct, mend, hug, you know, the people that we may not we see a lot in media, but Lott Carey does a great job again at walking the talk and being in those places and spaces. And so we know that you just recently, you know, flew the friendly skies and made a trip. And so we definitely want to hear about the trip because the trip has to do with one of our mission partners who we do see on a regular basis. And so we want to hear about that trip. So we're going to sort of do a little shifting of position. I'm going to start with Dr. Brenda McBurrow. You tell us about the initial part of the trip, and then I'm going to bring up the slideshow. And then I actually get to lay back and be co-host because these ladies are going to be talking about what they did during this trip. All right? Okay, Dr. McBurrow.
All right, so actually, let me just step back for a minute and talk about why Guyana. At the beginning of the pandemic, we were before the pandemic, we were actually planning on going to Wise was planning on going to Guyana, and so of course, pandemic hit, and you know everything shut down. And I remember having a conversation with Reverend Harewood, and I told her, I said, you know what? When I become president, the first missions trip that we are going to do, we're going to Guyana. And the reason for that, she had said to us, she was our she did our session during the pandemic, and she said, I would love to see Wise and Wings connect. Now, who the heck is Wings, right? So we are Wise, Women in Service everywhere. Our sisters in Guyana, they are Wings, Women in God's Service. So throughout Yeah, women in God's service. So this was an opportunity for Wise and Wings to connect. And so we wanted to spend some time with them. And when we talked about, wanting to come to Guyana, she said, now hold it. I want you all to wait until Guyana is hosting the Caribbean Baptist Women's Convention Union Conference. And then we want you to come because we want you to come alongside and help us and empower us and support us in the work that we have to do. So that's why we ended up attending, going to Guyana in the time frame because we were, on assignment. So we were on assignment to walk alongside our sisters and do what we say. Put our feet in our hands where our mouth, resides, because we often say to come alongside, and we did exactly that. And so there were 13 of us who journeyed from, various locations. We connected in Florida and we went on to Guyana. And, the 13 actually represented 9 churches from 4 states. There were, women from Virginia, North Carolina, New York, and Maryland. And, we basically just connected and we became the Wise, empowering her Guyana team. So it was a blessing to spend some time in Guyana. So what I would like us to do is that even as I'm sharing, a little bit about why we went to Guyana, I invite my sisters to come in and just share their perspective, because each of them bring a different perspective from, about, engaging in missions. And, sister, Dr. Eva Oakley, she's been with Lott Carey for a while. And Dana, this is her first engagement with Lott Carey. So we get to hear from both of them from their perspectives. So let's start off. I want to switch to, let's go ahead and let our first timer have the floor and let her share a little bit about her initial experience in, about this trip and why she wanted to come and, what she experienced. And then we'll go to Dr. Eva.
Okay, so it was a complete blessing. It took me outside of my comfort zone. The sisterhood, the fellowship was amazing. Um, Going someplace I had never gone before. I like to travel, but this was someplace I had never been. The way we traveled, going down the river on speedboats and the ferries and staying in a campground type atmosphere, and just engaging a different culture, but then experiencing the same type of worship that I'm used to. I just found that mind blowing, because when we went down the river, they worship just like how we worship at home, singing the same song, just without musicians maybe, but the love of God was there, and I just find that was just mind blowing. That just shows how the love of God spreads all over the world. And it definitely, I've always wondered about missions, like, if that's something I've been interested in, but I never got to have that, never did it before. So I'm definitely been bitten by the mission bug, and I will definitely do this again. And, it was just wonderful. And it just, God was just like, I feel like he was preparing me for something else, and he's showing me, that my ministry will expand in different ways, and I have to be open to it. I have to step out the comfort zone. I have to, allow myself to do different things. And it just, and the love from the women in the conference was amazing. The worship experience was amazing. So I don't know what more can I say, but I had a great time. And yes, I will be going on more missions trips.
So I must ask before we get Dr. Eva Oakley, since you had such an amazing time, I just want to know how I can see the pictures. Did you put a slide deck together? Is it on YouTube? You got an Instagram account? You got a Facebook account? Like, how are we gonna see these pictures? Because if
My
this
pictures
is your
on
first
Facebook. I have
time,
pictures on Facebook.
okay. So those who know, go see her pictures. Okay.
Yes, and it's not private, so you can go on my page and see it.
Go see the pictures. So, and here's also why I say that. I recently took a trip to a place that I've only seen about in pictures. right? And not until I got there and I saw it for myself
Mm-hmm.
did I try, almost like literally had to like smack myself to say, I'm not looking at the pictures, I'm actually here. And if people keep hearing about Guyana and they may only hear one side of Guyana,
Mhm.
you get to provide for them not just the image, but you in the image,
Right.
which is an entirely different transformative brain, shift. And then
Mhm.
they're like, oh no, it's not a picture, it's a real thing. Why? Because Minister Dana was in the mix. So I want to see more pictures because
Yeah.
unfortunately, I only see one part of Guyana. There we
Right.
go.
Right.
All
Like
right,
Like I had
Dr.
never,
Oh,
I had
I
met,
had met,
I know
I know
Guyanese
Guyanese
people,
people,
but I've
but I've
never
never
knew
knew
anything about
anything about
Guyana
Guyana
really.
really.
And I
And
know
I know
Reverend
Reverend
Haywood
Haywood
for
for
years.
years.
So I
So
mean,
I
I
mean,
just
I just
never, I didn't know anybody who went to Guyana for like a vacation or anything like that. So I did a lot of YouTube research before we went. And so that's where I got, that's what I like to do. When I go away, I like to find out about the place before I go. So I go on YouTube and try to see as much as people's videos and what to expect and what the foods to try. I'm like that. So I'm like, so that's how I got, but it's you're right. It's not the same. It's different when you're there. Like it's definitely, it comes to like, it's an amazing experience when you get there and when you just saw it on videos on YouTube and you're actually there. So it is definitely, something to visit. And, I would go back to Guyana anytime Reverend Hay would call me. I would go back.
all right, Dr. Eva Oakley.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
So
So
I had
I had
mixed
mixed
emotions going to Guyana. I can remember Reverend Haywood always sharing that in the Caribbean, it was rough terrain. It's not like many other people's areas what they think. It's different. And so I had this picture in my mind of the forest and the trees and all of those things, but then the unexpected. But I quickly learned that this immersion brought me to understand more of what I am supposed to do as a servant. And as a servant leader, walking alongside of my sisters, just being respectful and humble, being patient, just took me to another spiritual level in my growth and walk with Christ. And then my 13 sisters, that we had the time together, each one of us were able to reflect on a daily schedule. Some of us were healing in moments of times that we didn't even know we were healing. So, and allowed each other to cry on each other's shoulders. And so it was just wonderful. But going up that river was something to behold. I would have never thought that that was people's daily routine. It was just their daily routine about
about
children,
children
men and women. And
Do you,
so,
so
do you remember the name of the river?
Pomerone,
Pomerone,
got that
that
right?
right?
Pomerone.
Pomerone.
It is
It
the
is the
deepest river
river
in
in
Guyana.
Guyana.
And
And
they are known for the land of many rivers. And so the river we went up was the Pomerone, if I'm saying that correctly. We rode alongside the Darmera on many occasions, and also traveled on that a little bit. But um, the scenery and peacefulness on that boat going up the river just took you to another level of being in tune with God and what He's wanting to do with you and through you. And then to pull up in the parking lot at the church, in the boat, along with the other cars, and just walking up to that church where they have service faithfully and where the members come and serve. It was just one of those things, mind boggling. We take a lot of things here in the United States for granted, and to see what they do to serve God. And it was just an amazing experience. I could go on, but that, just a little gist of it.
All right, Dr. McBurrow, where do you want to lead us next?
so let me we've heard all the scary stories about the river. So let's kind of lay out what really happened. Okay, so we had to drive to the Pomeroons, but we drove first of all, and we got on a ferry, and it's the biggest ferry I've ever seen. And they had tons of cars and people, and it was very, very comfortable. Okay, so it wasn't so we basically took the ferry across, and the longest part of us being on the river was on this large comfortable ferry, and we stayed at a resort, um, and then on the next day we actually, that's when we took the little speedboats up the Pomeroons to the church. Now, one of the things we found out is the pastor of this church, we had come from Georgetown the day before. The pastor of this church basically takes a 4-hour journey because he lives beyond Georgetown. So he takes a 4-hour journey up that same path that we took to drive, all the way to the ferry, get on the ferry, go across, then take the speedboat, go to the church, preach to the people, care for the people, and turn around and 4 more hours back.
What? Pause for the cause. The next time somebody complains about how long it takes to get to church, okay, this isn't the I'm listening to. This isn't the, oh, I gotta get up before sunup and walk 3 miles uphill both way in the snow, no shoes on my feet. Did you say
Uh,
4 hours?
4 hours, cars, ferry, and speedboat.
Okay.
Okay, and that's faithfulness to the calling. And so that's the journey. But we, when we took the speedboat, it was just us. Okay, all of our stuff had come across on the ferry, and we left all of our baggages, back at the resort. So everybody thought we'd be on these little boats with all our bags and everything. No, that didn't happen. And actually, and I thought the most amazing thing about that was when we were leaving, to see two ladies come hop in their speedboat and took off running. I said, wow, they took off in a speedboat like we would take off in our cars. So for them, that's the equivalent, and but it was, it was an experience, being up there. And we found out that even the young people years ago, like Carrie, our IYD used to take, youth to Guyana, and they actually used to do the same thing. They will go in there and spend a week at the camp, that is, outside of Georgetown, and then they will spend a week up the river. Okay, and they said when they got up the river, they slept in the. Say, my understanding is they slept in the church. Okay, and they basically hop in and jump in the river to take a bath, and hey, but that was the young people, not us. But anyway, so that was the experience. But us being able to spend time and minister with them was truly a blessing. Part of our conversation before we started our, in the beginning with Wings was, tell us, what do you need from us? Because we don't want to come and tell you what we think or what we think you need, but we want to hear from you. And they, the leaders, has shared with us some topics they wanted us to address. And from that point on, we were the team. It was these two, Minister Dana, Dr. Eva, and Dr. Charmaine. They were on the panel. And I preached earlier. And part of the reason why we went up the river was that even though the conference was going on, our understanding was most of the women up the river would not be able to attend the conference. So Reverend Hare would ask that we would go up the river and take a piece of the conference with them. So I was to preach at the conference, so I preached for them. We were supposed to, Minister Dana and Dr. Charmaine were supposed to participate in the panel. So they participated. We had a panel discussion for them as well. And so all of the things that we were going to experience at the conference, we took a little piece up there, extending to our sisters what they could not go to receive. All right. So one of the other things that we experienced, we actually got to visit 5 of the 6 churches, Guyana Missionary Baptist churches, and there are 6 churches. We got to visit 5 of them. On the first Sunday we were there, Minister Dana and we preached, and I preached at a congregation, and they had joint services. So I preached at Yaracabro Missionary Baptist Church, and there were two churches, and it was Yaracabro, and it was the other one, the one that's named after the pastor.
Oh, was it Calvary Baptist Church?
No, you preach at Calvary, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you preach at Calvary, and then I know there was there were two congregations that joined, and I preached at that church, and then the other team, Minister Dana, and the other half of our group went to, where did you preach, Minister Dana? I think it was Calvary. Let me see. I got it right here.
Calvary
Yeah,
Baptist Church.
Calvary.
Yeah.
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 So Minister Dana preached at Calvary, church, Baptist church, and that team. So we kind of split up and went to two different churches. So we got to worship with two of the congregations. And I heard y'all had a blast. Y'all tell us about your experience at Calvary.
Well, okay, so it was, it's a small congregation, but they come. It was Children's Sunday, like the third Sunday every month. The children take over the service. So the Sunday school teacher was the liturgist or the worship leader, and then she had the ones playing the drums. There was leading worship. Worship leaders were these two girls. They were singing. They were singing, honey, and the kids read scripture. I mean, it was beautiful. I love to see children participate in service. That is my ultimate love. So that was very, very good. Very, very motivating and everything. And, it just was welcoming. Everybody was loving and welcoming. I felt right at home, again, another thing that, we take for granted, air conditioning. So there was none. But they had fans. So part of my struggle was trying to hold my sermon papers, keep the Bible from blowing off the pulpit, and hold the mic while I was preaching. So that was new for me. I was just hoping my papers didn't blow to the back of the church. But it was comfortable. It was loving. I felt the spirit in that place. Yeah. I mean, I felt worship. I enjoyed it. And just, it wasn't like, I'm at some new place and how do I fit in? I didn't feel that. I just felt right at home. It was really a beautiful experience.
Amen. And I preached at Yaracabro. There were a lot of women, and and we met some sisters, and some of those sisters that I met at Yaracabro, when we went over to the conference, they were all there. So going there, it wasn't as if to say you're walking around and you don't know anybody at all. There were some people that we had met, and so maybe let's talk a little bit about our experience at the conference. So for the conference again, it was a regional conference. So you had people from, I think, about 10 or 12 different Caribbean islands plus Guyana. And they're clear, they are not an island. Okay, so they're a country, they are not an island. So all of them were there, and just having the opportunity to meet so many people. If we thought that the experience of spending time with our extended Guyana family, because there are Guyana Missionary Baptist Church, Lott Carey. Okay, they are clear, they are Lott Carey. So just spending time there with them, it was amazing. Then we get to the conference and we start meeting people and places that we've never been. Oh, earlier I saw people. I saw our team members pop up. I saw Elizabeth pop up, and who else I saw? Lynette.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and Mother Mary. Oh yes. Mother Mary. Yeah. So on our team, the oldest on our team was Mary Houghton, and she's our Mother Mary. Everybody wanted to take her home, and she said, "What my daughter gonna do?" And then of course we Elizabeth, was also on our team, and then the youngest on our team was Dr. Charmaine, and and we all the rest of us fell in between. But it really was a great experience to just grow together. And look, Mother Mary, she was walking, so we couldn't complain about anything because when she moving, the rest of us had to keep moving as well. All right, so you all want to share your experience from the conference, and then we'll talk about the visit to the clinic next. All
Well,
right.
just want to
Just want to
piggyback
piggyback
on.
on. Mhm.
So
So
when
when
we
we
looked at
looked
the
at the
count,
count,
one of the
one of
things that the
the
takeaway
takeaway
I
I
got
had
from that
that
was
was
to witness our sisters that came along with our sisters. We in the churches a lot of times, we have to have the musicians and we have to have the music and those type of things, but they just sung. They sung by the glory of God, didn't have to have no music, and you can just feel the Holy Spirit just all through the place. And them just the loving atmosphere that they just embraced us and said, hey, my sister, let's talk about it. Let's share about what you're doing and how you're doing. And it was just so welcoming, to be accepted into a group of women from all over the Caribbean, from us being, United States. And so it was just, like I said, it was just mind blowing to see the different cultures. And then the one sister from Cuba, I mean, she even entertained us in her own native language, and you could see the presence of God all over her. But it was just so beautiful to be able to witness that, all those countries in at one time. It was just amazing just to see all of the different countries and how they celebrate one with
one.
I have a question. So you said other countries. How many other countries were represented outside of the missionaries from Lott Carey?
So you
So
had
you had
Jamaica, you had
Jamaica, we
St.
had St.
Andrews, you
Andrews,
had Cuba. Y'all might have to help me out, sisters. Grenada, Turks and Caicos,
San
um,
Pedro Island,
Bermuda,
Barbados.
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 Okay, I need some of the stream team to take some of these names down because I didn't know all these countries
All
were
right,
there.
All
let
So
right,
me
if
let
let
you
me
me
hear
let
the
let
me
me give a
give
names,
you the
list.
list. I think
if you hear the names, just those people who know, just type them in the comments and then I'll pull them up.
Trinidad.
Trinidad. We didn't have. Do we have Haiti? Let me. I have a
Haiti
picture.
wasn't there.
St. Andres.
Saint
St. Andrews.
Andres. Yes, yes. And I had to look that island up because I didn't realize that's the island that's off of Colombia. It's part of Colombia. It's an island like a little ways off of Colombia.
Mhm.
And I didn't
And
know
I
where
didn't
they
know
were
where they
from.
were
I never
from. I
heard
never
of San
heard of San
Pedro. I
Pedro.
mean, I
I mean, I
did, but I
did,
didn't
but I didn't
remember where they
remember
were
where they
from.
were from.
Can
Yeah.
can I can I just point this in and then we can continue the conversation? Going on these mission trips, you I'll just speak for myself and then if it resonates with you, like if a hit dog will holler, when I go certain places and I think I know a thing or two, I realize I know
No.
a piddle of nothing, right? So the fact you're saying, "Oh, I didn't know about this," or "I haven't heard of it," or "I didn't know," travel changes you. My
Yes.
neighbor always says, "Travel changes you. You widen your belief system about what is outside of your four walls, and then you see
Yes.
places that you haven't seen. You hear people voices. You eat food that you haven't eaten. You hear languages
Mhm.
but the spirit is all the same."
Yes.
The spirit is all the same. So I'm
Yes.
excited to hear the names of these countries. Now
So
go on. I'm gonna go back on
let
mute.
me. Okay. So they have Antigua, Barbados, Bahamas, Belize, but Belize was not there this time. Bermuda, Cayman Island. Oh, see the other one. Grenada, Jamaica. Jamaica didn't make it this time. Haiti is another part. Of course, Guyana. St. Vincent wasn't there this time. St. Kate's, St. Andres, Turks and Caicos, and Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. So we got in one of the things they did
And
as
Cuba. Remember
Hmm?
Cuba? She was. That was the first time
Cuba.
they
Oh yeah,
attended the
and Cuba
conference.
was the newest country.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cuba was inducted into the union this year. And she was so sweet. You couldn't help but love her. And one of the things they did at the conference is that they had a cultural night. And during the culture night, every country got to do something that represented their culture. So we had this, yes, we had this multicultural immersion, learning about all of the various, countries, and we got to participate because one of the things, and when you show the slideshow, you'll see it. In Guyana, they talked about one Guyana, right? And we had seen all this one Guyana in places. We didn't really know what it meant until that night. And they started to talk about the different groups that made up Guyana. And so for their presentation, they started from the indigenous people, and they told us, we want you want you all to participate. And so come in your cultural wear. And some of us had an African, items. And some people had bought some Indian inspired, Indian outfits while we were there. And one of our team members said, that's all they had. They said, great, because we're going to have an Indian group. So they had the various groups. They had the this is a conference going to be held in Cuba next year. Yeah, so they had a number of different groups. In fact, let me look it up so I can tell you the 6 groups that represent Guyana, because I thought it was fantastic to be able to learn about their culture, and every group was represented. And we got to, let's see, 6 groups.
You had the Armenians.
Yeah, Armenians. Those were the
native
people, the indigenous people.
Africans.
African,
yeah, they had
Indian,
Africans,
European.
they had Indians.
Yeah,
they had.
It was like 6 groups. I think there's 6 ethnic, or not ethnic, cultural groups they represented.
Yes, 6 cultural groups.
Yeah.
Cultural groups.
Now, somebody just said that next year's going to be Cuba. Cuba is going through a lot. I don't think they can have a conference.
It's not Cuba. No, it's not Cuba. It's somewhere else.
It can't be Cuba because they're going through, they still not getting power. And because of what the person that is in charge of our country is doing to Cuba, there are a lot of things they're really suffering. They're not getting the services. They don't have electricity. It's a lot going on in Cuba. That's why I was so proud. And so, when I saw the woman from Cuba come by herself with her little flag, I was like, you go, girl, because I know she's going through it. And something just happened last week with Cuba, that they don't have any electricity. They don't have gasoline. They don't have, it's like, they are struggling. They are really struggling in Cuba. Yes. So, we got to keep them in prayer.
Yes, definitely. So now, okay, so let me see. You got East Indians, African, Portuguese, Chinese. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And so they had every group represented. And they talked about them coming through. The times when they came in, and at the end they sang a song, basically that represents all of them, and it was a blessing. But overall, the cultural immersion, of not just Cuba, but even the group from St. Andreas, they basically did a skit that represented what happened to them and their journey, because they started off, I think, as a European island of a British island, and now they are basically an island connected with Colombia. Okay, and so we got to learn about all of these different cultures. And the lady from Jamaica, my goodness, she cracked us up. She's, but it was so overall experiencing, the worship that connects all of our hearts, but yet watching how they embrace each other and celebrate each other's culture, knowing that, together we are the same. It truly was a blessing. All right. So, okay. So that was our experience there. I preached, and it was a message that a lot of them said they were going to take away, because the message that I received to share with them, their theme for the conference was living the good news in community. All right. And so we have been talking about living the good news, what it means. And it's something that all of us need to, to think about. How do we live the good news in community? And so the message that I preached for them, for the prayer breakfast, basically flipped the script and asked us to take a view from the other side, and look at how others see us, as we are bearing witness, to be mindful of that. And many of them talked about how that caused, challenge them to think about it and make sure they are thinking about, okay, so we're here, we're enjoying all this experience, but the people on the other side, this doesn't impress them. What they want to know is that how is this going to translate in the real world, the worlds where they are. So that was, I think that was something that connected our hearts, and it's a message for all of us. So we're able to pour into them, the conversations that Minister Dana and Dr. Charmaine and the other two ladies from Guyana participated in. It again, where was the conversations was enlightening, and overall, it was a blessing all the way around. All right, so okay, let's talk about
You
I
want to do
wanted
the
to
slideshow?
say, oh,
Go ahead,
sorry.
Minister Dana.
I just also want to say that I know you ladies had this experience as well. That I, exchange information. Like I can contact the woman from Cuba. I can contact other ladies all over there. I know their church. So like my family, I have my family's from Barbados, my mother's side. So I know that when I go to Barbados, I'm going to go to this woman's her church. She already told me her church. She told me where it was. I was like, so when I go again, I'm going to go visit her church. But it's just all different. Everybody was so willing to get to know each other. That's what it was so beautiful. So it was, and when they were leaving at the end of the conference, the hugs, and it was like, oh, you're leaving, have a safe flight. Like it was just amazing that we became so close in such a short period of time.
Yes. And I was, one, they also they all had these little tokens that they were given as gifts. And I got so many tokens from St. Andrews. I'm like, I gotta come visit y'all. Okay. I have to come and visit you all, because every time someone put their little something, in my hand, and I'm like, okay, there's so many of you all that I've met, the pictures, taking pictures with them, sharing information and just contacting. It truly was a loving, experience. And I enjoyed it so much that I'm going to put a plug in that come next year, North American Baptist Women of North America, we are going to be having our conference. And that only happens every 5 years. Okay, it only happens every 5 years. So I'm hoping and looking forward to a delegation of us being present, just like they were present at theirs. So we want to make sure we would participate in our conference, just like we participated in there. And talking about Dr. Angelita, talking about the Lott Carey connection, when they were sharing about WISE, they wanted to know more about WISE. They wanted to know how they can connect with us. What were we doing? They wanted to know about the prayer guide. They wanted to know all of these different things, And the people from, St. Andreas say, can y'all please put us on the prayer list and pray for us too, So us being able to share information, I shared the prayer guide with them. They even asked me after after I preached, they asked me, can you, we want to teach what you preached. So can you please give us the information, so that we can basically take it and teach it to our people. So I actually came away with an assignment that I'm going to take that message and turn it into, a workshop. Yes, I know, right? We're gonna start with the workshop. We're gonna turn it into a workshop, and and we're gonna take that and share it with their leaders. And they said, when we get it, we're gonna take it and send it to the presidents of all of the countries, and they then will turn around and share it. So we, as Lott Carey, when that's what we offer to them, and yes, okay. So I'm excited. Yes, study guide. We definitely we're going to, because it really was a blessing. So that's one of the assignments that I walk away with, to develop the study guide that will help us to think about the view from the other side.
Dr. B, I want to piggyback on that, because when we went up the river to the church, and we presented that conference to the women there, and we had that panel fireside chat. And, I look at it now as saying, how faith and health came together. We were able to have that dialogue with them, and, to see them blossom and to be vulnerable in the presence of people that they didn't know, but yet they communicated with us. And, we learned so much about, what basically impacts their communities, and, how we can actually, continue to pray for them and work alongside of them, in the spiritual realm of just prayer in our absence. And so that opportunity of sharing that good news, we took that good news to them early, and we got an eye awakening in that whole experience. And that was just phenomenal.
Before we shift to, I know you don't realize that we've already chatted for 45 minutes.
Mhm.
You thought that this was going to be a half an hour. People in the comments, tell them. They think that they're like, oh, this is going to be 20 minutes. What are we going to talk about? It's already 45 minutes. We have not even seen the slideshow yet, okay?
Yeah,
So,
we'll end with a slideshow.
no problem.
You know? Yeah.
But so Dr. Eva, I was listening to you and I was listening to, now I'm saying this all in love. I was listening to the posture and position in which you were saying they were like, we were sharing with them and they were like gleaning from us. I just want to drop something in your spirit, in everybody's spirit. We go to other places and we say, how can we teach them? There are moments when I think when we get there, they're looking at us like, y'all are missing something. Let me teach you a thing or two. And it's not until people come back that those that are on our side, and I'm using the phrase our side because my sisters and brothers in South Africa will be like, oh, on their side or not. The people on the other side, they're thinking, wow, they're coming to us, and it's kind of like they're trying to teach us something, but in reality, they're teaching us a whole lot more.
Yes.
Than what we think we went there to teach. We
absolutely.
Listen. We may have two coins.
Yes.
We may.
Mm-hmm.
But what we have in one form, in their own form, they actually have much more. Because the way that the statement was, oh my goodness, 4 hours, to them, they're like, okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, this is how and it's 2026, and we're going to get on the boat, and we're going to get on the road, and we're going to travel.
Look, wait until you hear about the doctor.
Wait, we may have to chat about the doctor when we get to convention. So those people who are coming to Atlanta, y'all got to come. You got to come. You got to get somebody to stream with their phone about to hear about the doctor.
And that's perfect because God teaches us through the people we meet in relationship deal, right? So it was just amazing. Getting excited.
Excellent. All right, so shall we get into the slideshow? Yes? Okay. All right, so now I don't know who.
Let me say one thing and then we'll get into the slideshow.
Yeah.
Okay, so and I know we're running out of time, but one of the things that happened, the Lord, I know, right? The Lord just put one of our team members' heart that, hey, to put out a call for supplies. And we ended up we got to visit an orphanage, but we also got to visit the clinic, because we've all heard about, Reverend Hare will talk about the clinic, right? So we got to visit the clinic, and Dr. Charmaine was like, oh no, we're not going empty-handed. So the supplies that we took, one of the things we learned is that Guyana has infrastructure in place. Okay, they have infrastructure in place to support them, but at the same time, they don't normally get everything, and it's only because we brought these extras that we learned about, hey, while they may have certain infrastructure in place, there's opportunities for us to come alongside. And it was such a blessing to hear the doctor say, yeah, we need this, we don't get this, we get the other ones, but we don't get these things. So it was a blessing for us to be able to share, and we're looking forward to other ways in which we can connect with them and explore opportunities where we can empower them through health, because I think that's where the Lord's going to be leading us. All right, y'all, we want to share the slideshow, and then we can, y'all, we can pitch in for what we see, because you don't have all the pictures. Okay, if you want to see all of it, be at the annual session
Got to come to Atlanta.
on Tuesday. You will
Meet
see it
us in
all.
ATL.
There you go. Okay, pop it up. Let's talk.
Get in your seat. Okay,
All right.
here we go.
There you go. So yeah, so this was on the day that we went on our cultural immersion, learning about the country. And this is one of the places where I first saw the sign that talked about one. There's another sign there that talked about one Guyana. And again, we didn't know what it meant until we got to at the end of our journey, before we learned about that. All right. Next one. All right. So this is us doing our, devotion time, and the picture in the middle was on the tour. They took us to see this picture, and he represents someone who fought for the enslaved people, and his name is Cuffy, and they were so excited. We got to take you to see Cuffy. And Cuffy led, he led, I don't know if, I don't think it's so much of a riot, but he led the opposition, for the people. And the thing about Guyana is a lot of people look like us. Okay. They look like us. And from me coming from Liberia, all the trees and stuff we saw up the river, I've seen them all in Liberia. Okay. So, these are some of our team members as well, doing our time together as the 13. All right. Next one.
Okay, one second. One second. I'm going to pull it up. Okay. And there you go.
All right. Okay, so this is there go the two preachers. That was just before we took off to go on our preaching assignment. And the picture on the other side, that is Dana's team. That's the crew that went with her to Mount Calvary, Calvary Baptist Church. All right. Next.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is the team that went with me to Yaracabro Baptist Church. And we took a picture here with the pastors. Okay, this was at Lake Mainstay. This is after we took the ferry up the Pomeroon River. And we stayed at this Mainstay resort. So, this is some of our sisters taking pictures and just hanging around. The picture at the bottom right. Okay, yeah, we had to sleep under the mosquito net. Okay, we had to figure out how to get that net around us correctly so that no mosquitoes will get us. And the other picture above there is someone taking a view, of the Pomeroon River. And so that's it. What else? Let me see what else you have. Okay, so this is the little church, Abrams Creek Baptist Church, up the river. And you see the boat in the middle. That's the boat coming up to the parking lot of the church. And the other pictures are us in the inside the church as well. So it was a cute little church that we got to worship worship with them. Okay, and this is us at the Caribbean Baptist Women's Union Conference. There go Dr. Charmaine and Minister Dana, our two representatives who were on the panel. This is the whole group of us. All right. Okay, this was at this was at the orphanage. Okay, there's Phoebe Lynette at the orphanage, and that's Sister Tanja, playing with the kids at the orphanage. And I think she's
playing cricket.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, she's playing cricket. All right, and she did hit the ball. All right, she did. As you can see, she was serious. She did hit the ball, and there was another bunch of us. So this is pictures from the orphanage that we visited. All right, and this is us on our second Sunday where we worshipped at oh Lord, what's the name of church? Mount Zion.
Mount Zion.
Yeah, Mount Zion Baptist Church, and this is Reverend Harewood's home church. And yes, so we got to worship here. This is where I think she pastored at this church before she became superintendent. Now she's superintendent. Of course, she's over all the churches. But this is us worshiping. And these are pictures. Great. These are pictures from us taking the taking the supplies to the, visiting the clinic, and that's the amazing pastor. I mean, amazing doctor who first assignment was to deliver a person in the dark where somebody was holding a flashlight. Okay, hey, okay, and on the table, those are all of the supplies that we were able to take, to them to share with them, and that's a group picture up there. All right. So that kind of just, kind of ran you through some of the various things of, our journey and the things we've been talking about. So at the annual session, there will be more pictures. You guys will get more stories. You get to hear from other sisters from their perspective. So we are excited and we are grateful for the opportunity to have, to have journey. Again, let me tell you, counting from 1 to 13, I was like, I don't know how my mama did it. Because wherever we went, we had to count from 1 to 13 to make sure we were all there. But it truly was a blessing. And these 13, these 12 sisters plus 13 of us, our hearts are knitted as the Guyana, empowering her Guyana team, and it was truly a blessing to serve alongside, and it was not just us, them pouring into us as well. So the blessing. Oh yeah, Dr. Carla Miller. That's the
Miller.
lead.
Long Creek.
Yes, that's at the clinic. Yes, he was inspirational. He was. Yeah, yeah, he was. He inspired me to keep on. That's a man who's on a mission. Yes.
So I have one question. Actually, this actually comes from wait, let me show Dr. Angela Clifton because she always finds these great emojis. She actually asked a question earlier, and I'm going to pop it up now that we are in like our reflection mode. So when you said that everyone got together and they shared something, quote, from their culture, if anyone saw, I was like, so what did y'all share? What did y'all share? If everybody had indigenous communal rituals and routines and protocol, what did y'all share?
Oh no, you mean us at the Wise team?
Yes.
Oh no, we were a part of the team from Guyana. Our tag said Guyana. So we joined them, and we represented the people who came from Africa or from India, but we were part of the Guyana team. So, and I love this question Dr. Angela asked. How does this experience reshape your thinking about missions? I'm going to let y'all reflect first.
Each person should take like the last minute, take a minute apiece if you can, and share, like, respond to this question.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that on. I mean, I've been on other mission trips with Lott Carey, but this one was unique in its own way because it reminded me not only of the Great Commission, that we have upon us, it also made me think about the ideas and the preconceptions that I have prior to going and doing things, and gave me a little bit more humility. And I always think I'm a very humble person, but the listening, the dialects changed so much. I had to really listen, and I had to respect what they were saying through my listening ear, because sometimes I really could not understand. So I had to really, really listen and to learn and glean what they were saying so that I wasn't mispronunciating or, being taboo about their culture. And so it really made me humble just a little bit more. But it also gave me a better commitment to serve God in different capacities. And, and where I sit as a faith commission nurse and seeing coming alongside, when we're looking in the clinic, and I'm saying, oh my God, people, we complain here in the United States, or people complain here about the United States about care and services, where the doctor, he explained they can't get to the clinic. Even though they need to get to the clinic, they can't get to the clinic. And so when they do get to the clinic, they're more appreciative. So having that deeper understanding that, people here in our country have the hardships or create hardships that they don't truly understand. And so how you can actually share that with others now is one of the things that God is teaching me, how to, to work with others here
Mhm.
about your hardship is not really, a
A
hardship
hardship
like
like
some
some
other.
other.
Yes, you
Yes,
are
you are
going to,
going
we
to,
want
we
to
want
do
to do
value
value
that.
that.
But
But
let's
let's
talk
talk
about it a
about it a
different way.
different way.
So
So
it's
it's
just
just
helping
helping
me,
me,
kind of
kind of
look at
look
things
at
a
things a
little bit
little bit
different.
different.
All
Um,
right. Yes.
for
Mm-hmm.
my,
For my,
I mean, I had never. This is my first missions trip. I've traveled in a lot of different countries, but this was. It made me recognize that we are blessed. Well, I've always felt this way, but we are really brought to me mind that we are blessed to be a blessing, no matter what capacity, no matter where we come from. We all are women. We all have the struggles, whether it's domestic violence, whether it's raising single mothers, whether it's not, it's universal. Even if we speak differently, even if we live off the river, even if we riding in cars and you're riding in boats, we still worshiping Jesus. And that we have each, just like you said before, that we pour into someone else, but someone else can pour into us. That's the way it's supposed to be when you do missions. What I got from this trip, it is supposed to be, you not only bring something to the table, you receive something as well, and that changes you. That's the impact. That's what changes you. And then going forward, you're like, you start to chip away at your comfort zone, and you realize I can go other places I've never been before. I can sleep under mosquito nets. I can go to Camp Mainstay with the Black River that I've never seen before. I can do these things, eat different foods, find out that the food is delicious, and not be like, oh, I don't eat it like that. It moves you to different places, opens you up, broadens your, broadens your horizon, and then the love is there, and that's what takes over everything.
you see, and from my perspective, I remember us when we were preparing, when we got there in our initial session, Reverend Harewood said, I want you to set aside everything you know about doing missions and trust your host. Okay, because this mission trip is not going to be like any other missions trip. Again, so what it means that, even if you've done 50 missions trip before, when you're in this culture, in this context, trust your host. And one of the things they we had to trust was that we would get the information about what happens next in time. Okay, we the day before, the night before, she will send us instructions for the next day. She didn't give us everything, but we had to trust her, and trust the team. And even when, no matter what, I think one of the other things that stuck out for me, and I always remember, is the young lady who looked like a little girl at the orphanage. Okay, and we were at the orphanage, and you could see her kind of just comforting the other little children, and so people thought she was just a big sister, but in a way she is a big sister, because she actually grew up at that orphanage, and now that she's an adult, she's back there working, helping to care for the children who are there, and making sure that they're okay. And again, so it reminds us that even as we, when we go places, to truly look at life from the other side, because not only will it give us the opportunity to see what people think about us, but we get to experience their life, their culture, their love for God, and how they are working, serving, and living together in community. So again, that was, to me, that was the blessing of being able to walk alongside them, listen, learn, pray, encourage, and everything that we did. Okay, everything we did was just a matter of encouraging them. Whether we were having a fireside chat, or whether we were preaching or sharing in a panel conversation, or just one-on-one conversation. It was about us listening and learning, praying and encouraging.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, I've always wanted to, with this opportunity to share the stories of the many people in the Lott Carey aisles and the many people in the Lott Carey pews, the variety of experiences, the stories, the testimonials, not just to tell ourselves, but that so this channel can be a vehicle to tell people who do not know about Lott Carey.
Mhm.
We, as Dr. Brenda McBurrow and other people have said, we've gotten bitten by the Lott Carey bug, and this is a bite that you won't mind getting bit by, right? This is a bite that's an okay bite, right? This is, and so, those people who can, if you can make the decision, while it can be vacation, you are away from your home, you are away from your refrigerator, you're away from your TV, you can rest and relax. But the as Dr. Angela Clifton said, the immersion, the mission, here we go. The mission immersions always impact the heart.
Yes,
This
it
is
does.
an investment that gives more rest to the soul
Hmm.
in addition to rest for the body. It
Yes.
is a different type of a rest. So I encourage all of those
Yes.
who have never thought about taking a mission trip or a mission immersion.
Yes.
You can still take a vacation, but this is a great opportunity to do something, yes, for yourself, and
Hmm.
then do something else for other people as well. And so if you
Hmm.
haven't done mission trips, have the opportunity, come along with Lott Carey. Because again, I want these videos to be shared outside of Lott Carey. We know these stories. We hear them every year. But
Yes.
these videos I want to go to other places so other people know when we come, we're not just coming to sit and chit chat with each other. We're coming to make a difference in the life of the people,
Mhm.
of course, in the whole city, but then
Mhm.
also globally as well. I thank you
Yeah.
so much. Dr. McBurrow, you want to have your last words?
See, and the thought that just came to my mind is that we often, in like here, we talk about touching lives with the transforming love of Christ. It's only as our lives are touched, only as we are transformed, it's only then can we touch others with in ways that will transform their lives. And so that's what we glean from the various experiences we experience life, within their within their context, and we were transformed by the experience. And even as we were transformed by the experience, praise God, we believe they were also transformed by the encounter. So it's a blessing, but that's why we do missions. We do missions, a short-term missions trip that we will go, and we will touch. We will love on each other, and we will be transformed even as we seek to extend the transforming love to others, to everyone we meet. That's part of what it means for us to be women in service everywhere. We were there to serve. We were there to come alongside, and we were there to live. You know, to live the legacy of all of our sisters, what they've been doing for 125 years. And but this is part of our journey. We were intentional that as we plan our year of celebration, that it would include us going back on the mission field somewhere, and being, and sharing the impact. And yes, we were impacted, and so were they. So we're grateful to our host, Reverend Harewood. We're grateful to our sisters from Wings, who just loved on us and invited us to come alongside them. We're grateful to all of the people we encountered who opened their lives and their ministries to allow us to just, like Paul would say, just come alongside, and just for a little bit, just for us to be able to just for a little bit, work with them and walk alongside them. So truly, we are grateful. And we know that this is not going to be our last trip. We're believing that God has more in store for Wise and Wings. What He has in store, we don't know, but we know that He has connected us so that we will continue to empower, each other. That we will continue to be a blessing wherever we go. Thank you, Sister Dorielle, for having us on the couch where we could just chat a little bit and reflect on this journey and truly be reminded of the importance and the blessing that we are and we experience, and what we're called to do now that we're back on this side.
Amen. 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 So I thank you all, sisters, and to those who are watching virtually in the Facebook and the YouTube, whether you're live or you're going to watch this on the replay, I have one thing to ask. When are you getting to Atlanta? I
That's
want to
it.
see everybody. We all need to take the group hugs, get the group photos because we need to memorialize all of this amazing work that we're doing, especially meet your mission partners. Where's my book? Oh, excuse me. Hello.
There you go.
I finished my book. I finished the entire. Let me tell you, you may there's a lot of writing. It's in there. You see that? Look,
Hmm.
hello. I did
Hmm.
my homework. I
I
did my
see it.
homework. I did my homework. Thank you. I did.
You ready for Lott Carey?
My bag isn't packed, but
I
I'm
know. Yeah,
in
but you ready for Lott Carey?
okay in my mind I'm ready. Anyway, so I do want to just I'm looking forward to seeing everybody, there. I'm looking forward to seeing all the family that I have seen over the past years and now decades. Hugging folks. Please make sure when you come, I hope you're registered for every single thing that you need to be registered for. Make sure you're there Tuesday, right, Dr. McBurrow? Tuesday
Yes.
afternoon. When else do we
Tuesday
get?
afternoon. Well, no, don't do it. We got prayer breakfast
Of
on
course.
that prayer breakfast on Monday morning. We got Martha Murphy prayer on 6 a.m. Tuesday through Thursday. Don't forget about prayer. We have our women's session Tuesday afternoon where we're going to focus on empowering her for transformational ministry, and you get to hear the great things that we have been doing as Lott Carey women all across. Okay, not just now, but back then to now, to some of the things that are coming about. We get to hear about the missions trip as well. And on Thursday, of course, the Wise Choir is going to be in the house. Yep, there you go. And so that in the morning, we will have yes, on Thursday, don't forget, wear your black and pearls. On Tuesday, wear your Lott Carey or your Wise t-shirt. On Thursday, afternoon, okay, on Thursday, yep, there we go for, yep, your Lott Carey shirt. Okay, yes, on Thursday, and we will have some more shirts in the national market. We have new shirt empowering her t-shirts this year as well. So then on Thursday afternoon, we get to celebrate with our sisters. Those who are Wise Salt Award participants. We have a special treat on Thursday because we've been talking about Wise 50 plus hidden figures. So you'll get to see a little snippet of that. And when it's all over and done with, you get to go on Facebook, on YouTube and watch the whole documentary. And that's just part one because we got more sisters who we need to talk to. And so we're excited. And of course, then we will get a reflection on our year to hear all the things that's been happening around from August of last year till now. So we have a packed time. We got a lot of to share. So we hope to see you in the place in the ATL.
Dr. B,
Yes.
on Wednesday, tell them to roll them things up so we can say some live to our blood donations from 10 to 3 on that Wednesday. Yes.
Do it. Say it again, Dr. Eva.
I said on Wednesdays, we need the sisters to come and roll that sleeve up and encourage the brothers to donate blood to save a life on Wednesday. So let Carey continue to save lives.
Excellent.
Amen. Y'all hear that? Our sister, she's serving there. That means to say we need to be there. All right. If you can give blood, make sure you stop by to also give blood because, hey, women in service everywhere. One of the ways we serve is roll up that sleeve.
I love it.
Right, but we are excited. We are excited. On Sister Dana, I know it was kind of late for you to be able to attend this year, but we're looking to see you another year.
Excellent. So, family, we thank you all once again. Again, get your bags packed. Get your bags packed. If you're not going to be there presently, get your popcorn and your tea ready because you got to sit in your seat when these things go streaming. All right. I'm just saying, if you're not going to be in the place, not be on my couch, be on your own couch and watch the work. Okay.
Yes.
So last comment. Thank you so much, Dr. Angelita. Purple,
Thank you.
for the
Thank you.
Purple Hearts. We appreciate you all, and we will see you all. We'll see some of you in a couple of days. I'm so excited. I
Yeah.
look forward to this whole year. Peace and blessings. And this is Lott Carey signing off, ladies. Hold tight. We'll just get our last piece here. I am so blessed to see you all in a few days.